loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last. It's time for another conversation. This is Making It Last podcast. I'm your host, Noreen Daly, and it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. Now, everywhere you turn, on the lips of everyone is the whole idea of COVID-19, the fact that it is changing our lives in so many ways, positively or negatively. And of course, in all of this, there's this whole idea of being quarantined or just being isolated from everybody else. No, I'm going to be speaking with a couple who I admire a lot, because I even commented to one of them the other day that I want a Brian, which is the husband. So I'm sure from that it means that it is out of respect because of some things that I saw him doing. So we're talking to Brian and Basillia Cuff. How do you do?
Hey.
Hi.
All right. And they've been married for a little over 6 years. So,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So, what we're talking about this time around is how can couples keep the spark alive during this period of isolation? So, who wants to talk first? Jump right in.
Beautiful gentleman.
Oh, such a gentleman. Yes.
Well, there are so many different things that have come into play as it relates to how we relate to each other. Because given this pandemic and the fact that we have 2 children who are now always at home, we now have to be very creative. Our sleep schedules have drastically changed in order for us to ensure that we find the time for each other. So on a normal basis, or before this whole quarantine and before the whole pandemic, we would have, different times when we got to spend with each other without the kids. Whether it was Bria was at school or Bella was with the sitter, we had the little times in between. But now they are with us 24 hours for the day. So a lot of times, since quarantining, a lot of times we've had to wait until they go to sleep before we get some quality time together. So usually, their sleep patterns have been messed up as well. So we have to adjust. So it now sees us going to bed, that's me and Brian, going to bed wee hours of the morning, like 3, 4, 5 o'clock, because we try to get in some of the things that we enjoy doing, like watching series and watching movies, and these aren't appropriate for the kids. So these are things that we enjoy doing, especially watching series. So that's one of the things that we have ensured that we try as best as possible to continue doing. And a lot of it is done during the 10, 11 o'clock period at night, so 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, just so that we get some alone time and just so that we, get to just relax without the kids in the picture. So that's one of the things that we have done so far.
Okay. Brian?
Well, Basillia mentioned some of the stuff. I've just been trying to make some adjusting some of the things that we have been doing. And I think one of the key ones for us is playing with each other. Basillia loves to play. She loves ramp. and
Please explain to them what you mean by playing with each other.
She loves ramp. She loves ramp. All right. This is strictly a PG.
Yes, it is.
Right. So we're talking about ramping.
Right.
Talking. What I want to name, we're playing 1, 2, 3 red light with the kids. We're doing together as well. So it is helping us to also build with the kids, or to build our bond with the kids, but also with each other. We play 1, 2, 3 red light. We go outside and we have this little tag. We're running and we're racing and we're just having fun. I mean, they say there's a kid in all of us, so we try and bring the kid alive at those times. So we just have fun. I mean, it doesn't have to be that we have to go out to the theater or go out to a park or a theme park if we are traveling, that is, because none of it's in Jamaica. No, we can do all of this in our backyards or in our homes. You know, the girls have a tent inside that they play in, and when they're not playing in there, we go in there, we sit down and we laugh and we watch movies or whatever. We just have fun. Things that are, some people would say, are child-oriented. We just have fun with them.
And we also have a ball pick here for the girls, and we use it as well. And I think one of the main things that has really kept us during this period is the fact that we actually enjoy each other's company. So we don't only love each other, we like each other. We enjoy each other's company. And there are so many different things that we can find to do. And so really and truly, I don't mind being quarantined with friends.
What? I'm waiting on Brad to answer before I ask a question.
No, I don't mind being quarantined, sir. Either, because like we have commonalities that we've expanded on. For example, we both started out in journalism, so we spent 6 years. I spent 6 years. You spent
7. I spent 6.
All right, so we both spent several years in journalism. So we watch the news together. So when the newscasts come on or when the press conferences come on, we're there together. We're commenting on it. We're critiquing it. We're laughing at the comments from some of the people on social media. We also, like, I love photography. I'm a mini photographer, right? I'm getting there. So I take pics, and my model at this time is going to be her all the while because I have nobody else I can get. So she's a girl. So she's become a bigger model. So she's working on all of my photo challenges, all of my photo ops, it's all of her. So she's becoming a model in her own right? She has things that she loves doing that she draws me in. So she's a chef, a mini chef. And when she experiments, I am the guinea pig. Right? So we work with each other's commonalities and also our differences, so to speak. We support each other on them.
I know you're enjoying the conversation as much as I am, but guess what? We're going to take a short break. And we'll be right back.
Does your business lack branding? Having difficulty realizing your vision? Look no further. Splinth Brand Design Consultancy specializes in developing personal and business brands. Services include strategic management, website creation, social media branding, and more. Visit them online at www.wearesplinth.com. Splinth, the brand you need to succeed.
There's one thing that you said that I don't want anybody, nothing. There isn't anything you said I want anybody to miss, but this in particular really resonated with me. The whole idea that you actually enjoy each other's company and that you like each other. So for some couples who at this point are saying, you know something, at this point I'm not even sure if I like being around him, if I like being around her, what would be your advice for them?
Well, for me, I would say maybe they are in that spot now because they haven't been in that spot before.
Okay. What
I mean by that is a lot of times, and this is from seeing persons, commenting on social media. Mm-hmm. The time that couples are spending together now, they have never done it before. They've always been working in separate environments. So the most they spend on a daily basis is 4 to 5 hours sleeping and a few hours before bed after work is finished. So they haven't really gotten the chance to spend all of this time in the same space. And so it is proving to be a challenge to a lot of couples. I would say take the time to get to know your partner a little bit better. I know there are some things that your partner will enjoy that you don't really like. There are some things that you will love to do with your partner. It's not really so interesting. I would say try to, compromise and strike the balance even if you don't really like doing it. Because for me, Brian knows that when it comes on to photography, if I can find another model for him, I will. Right? Okay. I don't like to dress up and put on makeup and all of those stuff if I'm not going out because, sometimes I'm so tired from being with the kids and just can't bother to dress up. Mm-hmm. But especially the other night, he asked me to do a photo shoot at 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning. A challenge he had.
The things you do for love. The things you do for love, yes.
Let me tell you, and on a regular basis, if he asked me 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd probably say, babe, you can't just give me more notice, or we have to just call me here and put on makeup and fix up, which I can't bother with. But at that time and in that moment, I understood how important it was to him. I think he was shocked that I said yes. I don't think he expected for me to say yes, but he asked anyway. But I did not complain. I did not murmur. I just went and I put on my clothes and I put on my makeup and I fixed up my face and I came around here and I was a very patient model for how many shots. We finished probably around 3 a.m. and that is not the typical Basillia. Basillia would want to go to bed or, say, boy, I'm just too tired right now, Brian. I can't bother to go fix up right now. And, I just really made that effort to do something that, I know is important to him. So I would say to couples to compromise, especially during this time, and find a way to strike the balance to ensure that, you keep your partner happy. And keeping your partner happy can be via so many different, you can do that in so many different ways. So just find the balance.
Okay.
And I think part of the problem, and I would say as a man with the head, I would say a big part of the problem has to do with us. Why? Let me be real. Men are generally more attracted to a look or to how his wife has her sex appeal. Mm-hmm. So it has to do with what he sees and when he sees it. So when a man is interested in something, in the intimate moments or the romantic moments, this is when now he would, quote unquote, flip a switch, try to get his wife turned on, try to get her excited. So he might, all right, he's coming home, he's in the mood, he picks up a flower, he picks up food, or he comes home and he cooks, all in the bid to get something or to have an end result, right? So because of that, he would only maximize on spending time with his wife to get something. Now, when we are home or we're having an extended period of time together, and it's not just about when I want something, but I have to deal with this person over and over and over and over, it challenges us as men. So a lot of couples now who are, like, oh, wow, this is the person I'm really with, or wow, this is how she looks when she's awake, or wow, this is what she looks like without makeup, is because now our eyes are being opened to this woman, not just for the time when we want something, but to this person who is there every single moment of quarantine or every single moment of self-isolation or whatever case may be. So it is on us now to realize that a relationship is more than those intimate moments or those romantic moments when we're seeking to get something. It is every day, every hour, the mundane, the exciting, the not so exciting, the difficult moments. It is all of these things that come together to make a relationship. So for us, we know each other in all of these circumstances, the good, the bad, the ugly. So whatever happens now, we're able to enjoy it. Because one of the things I remember, I tell people all the while, when we were getting married, we said that this relationship is a moment and we're going to enjoy the moment in the moment. So every moment that comes, COVID is just another moment, right? So we're enjoying the general moment of our marriage, but we have to find a way to enjoy the different moments in this relationship.
And when talking about enjoying the moment, we've been quarantined since March, something like over a month. And
we're still quarantined. We're taking the precautions.
So we don't go out. Probably in week 3 or week 4, I remember Brian having to go to work. And I never wanted him to go to work. And I'm talking about this is after 3 weeks of us being home continuously. I mean, listen, when he's on work for like 2, 3, 4 hours. And I'm like, wow. So as I said before, we enjoy each other's company. We like being around each other. And I always tell people, when you love somebody, you have to like them too. Because you're sharing the space with this person for most of your days, especially now, all of your days together. So it's very important that you like the person you are with and you try your best to enjoy their company.
And I think what is important too is a lot of people going to laugh in the time to see each other on work together or this or that. The thing is,
not at all.
even though we are together, we also respect our individualities and we also respect our spaces. So when Basillia is working on Sterling or she's working on her different projects and she will call me and ask me what I think about this or what is my views on this and taking my input on that, I respect that and I give credence to it. Similarly, when I call her, or I may be playing games or I may be chilling with my brethren them online, she respects that and she will come and she probably shout who she know or she asks about the game or something. So she will give me my time, I'll give her time too. So we understand the differences, we understand the individualities, we understand space, and we understand what to do for each other when we need it.
Let me tell you what I'm loving about this conversation as we're wrapping up. Because I'm sure once I said the topic, a lot of persons thought only romantic. Because once they hear the word spark, they only think, the whole idea of being romantic or intimate as a couple. And intimacy comes in so many different forms. And you highlighted some of that. And the whole idea that with all that's happening, you're supporting each other, respecting each other's space, in terms of individuality. I think that is really, really important. So if some couples get nothing else, I'm hoping that they get that bit. And if it is that they're at the point where they're not, quote unquote, liking each other or enjoying each other's company, the fact that they're married, there must have been something at some point that caused them to like or to enjoy each other's company. So now is the time to reconnect and to be reminded of what that was. But you've said a lot, but what is the one idea each of you'd want to leave with? Whether it is a single person still yearning to be in the position that you're in or, a couple, what is the one idea you'd like to leave with our listeners?
Well, for me, that one idea would be just to take this time to get to know each other a little bit better, especially if you are a couple who, you're in your individual jobs that takes a lot of time away from home. It takes you away from home a lot because, you're so busy. Know that you're given a little extra time. Take the time to get to know your partners a bit more. Take the time to do some of the little things that you never had the time to do before. Whether it is cook a nice meal. And, sometimes people say that when you have kids, you can't do a lot of things. Many of they take a lot of work and they take up a lot of your time. But I am a firm believer in ensuring that happy parents, in order to be happy parents, we need to be a happy couple.
Yeah.
So we are firm on that, and we do our best to ensure that while we take care of the kids and we spend time with them, we also do the same for each other to ensure that we keep each other happy.
Yeah.
And I would want to add that no matter how we love each other and we like each other, I think it's important for people to know that we don't like everything about each other or everything we will do at a particular time. What do I mean? For example, Basillia, I always say at a certain time of the year, there is a third party in our relationship or there's a third child that takes a lot of attention, which is Sterling. So sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, when she's up and I want her to come to bed or I want her company or I want her to look at something for me and she's doing that, I don't like it. But I understand it. I now come and I stay up with her. I may be on my phone playing a game or I may be watching TV waiting on her. So I don't like exactly what is happening, but I may do and I tolerate it because I know it's important to her and it's important to us too. Because it's important to her, it becomes important to me and I am a part of Sterling as well. So I will. And when I say I don't like it, because I don't like that it takes so much time because she's really invested in it and she spends hours in it. So I'm like, all right, I thought you would have been done now, So I may not like that, but I still understand that I like her, I like us. So even if I don't like how much time she's spending, this is important. So I might even come and I say, all right, I did this already, but what more can I do? I may not be able to do anything at the time, but I will be able to make some tea. She will say, make some tea for me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm making tea at this time in the morning. And I go in the kitchen and I make the tea and I come back. And then when I come back up, I ask the lotion my foot. And I'm like, what? It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oil my scalp and just rub it on me.
Yeah, and I don't like doing those things all the time at that time, right?
At that time of the morning.
So I'll give some resistance, and but I'll still do it because I know it's important to her, it's important to me.
Yeah.
Similarly, she's up with me or I'm up with her, and she don't like when I splash water on her. But I mean, she's up with me, so I'm gonna splash the water on her in the food. You have to like whether I like it or not, to stick it, right?
Right, that don't make no sense. Don't make no
well,
sense.
it's something that I do.
Okay.
She may not like me being on the game so
Right,
long.
right.
I'm bridging them a play and I'm in the game.
4 hours.
I'm in the game and it's a live game and there are other persons online, so I can't just come off because it's going to affect other people.
Right,
so when
right.
we finish, and she'll be like, oh, you don't finish yet. But she asks me, win, or you kill somebody in the game if it's a shooting game, or you drive or you win. She still asks questions about it. Or she still find out who I'm playing with and say, yo, I want Paul, and she'll come and she'll talk on the speaker while I'm talking. So
nice.
she may not prefer it, but she understands that it is important to me, so she starts off get invested in it.
Yes. Thank you, Brian and Basillia. Yeah.
Thanks for having us. It's our pleasure.
Yes. And I will continue to hope that I'll get a Brian. So, with that...
Yes, we'll get to that end.
With that being said, this was Making It Last podcast. I'm your host, Noreen Daly. Until next time.
Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last.